بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. All praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us another day in our life. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make this day as a source of blessings for us inshaAllah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from all types of evil. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. As an individual, many times there are certain things that they come into your life without any expectations. There are some distress that you are already prepared for it to an extent. But sometimes, or many times, it happens that everything was going fine and then suddenly things go in a different direction. So a person becomes distressed. He does not know what to do. And then a person thinks, I wish there is something that I can do to make it easy for myself. And we know for a fact that inside our heart that things will change. It's just at that moment, the distress that a person feels, the discomfort that an individual feels, how to go about with that. Because that feeling, if it's not governed according to the teachings of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then a person does a lot of things in distress that maybe later on he regrets. And he thinks that I wish I didn't do that. Or I wish I didn't behave like this in front of this individual. Sometimes you ask someone to do some work for you. You hired him and he messes up completely. Right? He completely does the opposite. And at that time you're like, what do you do? So sometimes what happens is, at that time of distress, you utter certain things that might be the source of regret for you in the future. So we learn from the teachings of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, because Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he was also human. So he used to also encounter things during his lifetime which will bring difficulty. And he had the greatest amount of pain from anyone else in the ummah. If we were to combine the pain of the entire ummah and you were to put it into one pound of the scale, and you will just take the pain of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet alayhi, as being a prophet, is above. Just forget about being just a human being, a regular person. Even amongst Anbiya alayhimu salatu wassalam, the most amount of difficulty that came on any Nabi is the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. So at that time, what he used to recite, Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu, the companion of the Prophet alayhi salam, the nephew of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, very close to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, watching every single moment of the Prophet alayhi salam while he is with the Prophet alayhi salam. He says, I used to spend time in my aunt's house, who was the Maymunah radiallahu anha, the Ummahatul Mu'mineen. And the entire night, I would just be awake to see how the Prophet moves alayhi salatu wassalam. What does he do during the night? How does he lay down? What does he say at the time of situations and conditions? If he's using the bathroom, how is he using the bathroom? Where is he going to use the bathroom? When he's making wudu, how is making wudu? He said, whenever I would find out that the Prophet ﷺ tonight would be standing, or he would be staying at the house of Maymunah radiallahu anha, I would immediately go and spend the night with him, so that I can learn from his teachings. And later on, he conveyed those practices of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. فَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنَ الْجَزَاءِ. May Allah reward him the best. So Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu says, whenever I would see the Prophet alayhi salam going through a distress, a difficult situation, he would recite, لا إله إلا الله العظيم الحليم لا إله إلا الله رب العرش العظيم لا إله إلا الله رب السماوات ورب الأرض ورب العرش الكريم لا إله إلا الله العظيم الحليم لا إله إلا الله رب العرش العظيم لا إله إلا الله رب السماوات ورب الأرض ورب العرش الكريم. The person who recites this, Allah immediately calms his distress. What is the meaning of this dua? None worthy to be worshipped except Allah, the mighty, Al-Halim, the clement, the one who is there to forgive. Right? It's from the Asma'ul Husna. Al-Halim is from the Sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who is As-Safuh, the one who forgives. الَّذِي لَا يُعَاجِلُ الْعُقُوبَةِ, the one who does not immediately hold you accountable of your actions, of your wrong actions. This is the meaning of Halim. This is the Sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who forgives a lot and doesn't hold you accountable, immediately doesn't hold you accountable of your actions. So you're saying, oh Allah, the great, the Halim, none worthy to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the Lord of the Arsh. None worthy to be worshipped except Allah, who is the Lord of the heavens, and who is the Lord of the earth, and who is the Lord of His Arsh, Al-Kareem, which is honorable. So this dua, it's a very powerful dua. That when you're talking about the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the situation that you feel inside will calm you. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. Allah says, through the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the hearts, they feel contentment and peace. So at the time of distress, this is something to remember. You know, a lot of times people have habits of saying different things. You know, people, the environment that you are in, the types of words that you use at the time of distress, at the time of difficulty. Some people say certain things which are inappropriate. But if you get the habit of saying dua, 3 benefits you receive. Number 1, Allah Azza wa Jal protects you from saying something that is not desirable. Number 2, Allah calms your situation. And number 3, Allah Azza wa Jal preserves the reward for your dua, and He compensates for you in the hereafter. So these are benefits that we get from the teachings of Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to practice, inshaAllah. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make it easy for everyone. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. If anybody would like to get the dua, the khatiras do get recorded, so you can go to the masjid Facebook page and you can listen to it. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu